Hi everyone. So I've gotten a few people that asked me to give them information. So I typed out some stuff. You'll see it in the post. But I also wanted to do a video as well, just so that I can kind of explain everything with my voice and kind of add in some little tidbits here and there. So I'm just going to jump right in. These are all legitimate businesses. They're not MLMs at all. They're straightforward, real businesses, okay? These are businesses that take work. These are businesses, some of them require insurance, some of them require licenses and whatnot. Even some require insurance, different types and all that stuff. So just to let you know, all right? So I'm gonna jump right in because it's like 4 different business things, okay, to choose from. So the first one is Notary loan signing agents. And basically, and I'm reading exactly what I'm going to be posting, but I'm going to be also adding some tidbits here and there. So this business entails notarizing loans, and you essentially tell people where to sign, and then you stamp. You will typically kind of explain what they're agreeing with, as like agreeing to as well as they sign. That's kind of the whole point of being a notary in a way. So yeah, and as far as that goes, you can make anywhere between $75 to $200 per signing on average. And most signings are no more than an hour long. Sometimes you might get some chatty Cathys and I might go a little bit longer, but typically it's no more than an hour. So you can have some as fast as 30 minutes, and you might do one for 30 minutes and you make $80 or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's a thing, and it's actually pretty cool. And you can work with a signing agency where people contact the agency, and the agency reaches out to you and see if you're available for the signings. And they typically would take a pay cut. And it really just depends on what their percentage is that they take off of that. And they pay you, so you'd have to get paid based off of how often they pay and things like that. Let's say if they pay you weekly or bi-weekly or something, or even monthly, you would have to wait. So just so you know. Or you could work directly with the loan officers, okay? And if you work directly with loan officers, you tend to make more, and then you might get paid a lot faster. Also, I forgot to add that if you're working with a signing agency, they'll typically print out all the paperwork, because you as a loan signing agent, you're bringing all the paperwork with you to the client that's going to be signing the papers, okay? And you are typically doing things kind of on their times, and you're going to be going to their homes. With COVID and everything, depending on your state, you could do some remote signings like online, but most states are not doing that. Like, for example, California is not doing that. You still have to go in person, but there's ways you can go about doing it and still being safe with COVID and everything like that. So just keep that in mind. It's still very doable. And also you'll get phone calls rolling in is typically how it works, because there's a huge market for it. Loan signings are done for everything pretty much loan related. So if someone's getting their first loan or they're refinancing a loan, especially given these times of COVID, people typically are still doing a lot of loan signing related stuff. And people have said with COVID, there's been an influx of loan signings. Okay, so this is a good time to get into this industry as well. Supply and demand is pretty crazy right now for that. Okay. Big industry. Okay. Sorry if you can hear the TV in the background. All right. So, there's no training necessary with this, but you do have to take an exam. You do have to become a notary, and you have to be sworn in as a notary. Okay. So that's a whole step, and you need a certain type of insurance as well. For California, don't quote me on this. Look into it more yourself. But what I noticed is that you do have to take an exam, and you getting licensed or becoming a notary depends on your exam scores and all that stuff. I looked on the website and they were still working on exams from July. I would double check. I would try to get on the phone with someone to confirm that. But that may be a thing. And I didn't pick notary just because I didn't want to have to go and drive in person and meet with people and stuff like that. That just wasn't the business I wanted to start, okay? So, because you will be doing that. You will be driving a lot. And if you're working for yourself directly with loan officers, you will be doing a lot of printing. So you got to take that into account as well, okay? So check out those links. There's how-to videos. There's a detailed video that I have on there. There's also the website. You could change the state on that website and get general idea about your state and what you have to do for that, okay? So I'm moving on to life insurance sales. Life insurance sales is pretty straightforward. There's a lot of money in it. Of course, if you don't know a lot about it, I'm still going to go over it a little bit and how the pay works and everything as well. So life insurance sales entails selling life insurance. You could focus on final expense or mortgage protection or Medicare or a bunch of other ones. There's all kinds of different ways. Life insurance is a really big industry. It's bigger than most people even realize. It's bigger than I even realized. Most do final expenses and focus on just final expenses because it's pretty straightforward as far as that goes for the most part. If you're working with older people and you're getting their final expenses, it's a general area that you can focus on and and specialize in. For California, I don't know what it is for other states, but for California, it's 52 hours of training. Okay, if you go with the IMO that I'm starting with, or most IMOs will pay for your training, and IMOs are basically like the middleman between you and insurance agencies. They make it easier for you to be able to work with insurance agencies, and they also have ways to help you like increase your commissions and all that stuff. It's a whole thing. That's just the structure of how it works. You can work directly with insurance agencies yourself. That is an option. Look into that. I have not, but look into that if you want to learn more about how to do that. So the exam, for at least for California, I'm pretty sure for other states as well, there is an online and proctored exam given the times of COVID and everything. It does cost money. The one in California is $88. Okay, I don't know if you can get that money back. I still have to call and see because I had already set my exam because I was going to go into life insurance sales, and I had already did like 40 something, like 41 hours of training. I still had a little bit more stuff to go, but I decided not to go this route. And I was actually supposed to take my exam in 3 days, but I decided not to go that route, so I completely dropped that. And I may or may not get my money back. I don't know. So look into that. See if you can get your money back. Don't set your exam yet until you are ready. If you go with the IMO that I'm going with, sign up on there where it has a sign up. Watch the overview video, explainer video on there, and then sign up, and they'll link you with somebody who's close to you. I was connected to someone from Sacramento. If you're in a different state or a different town, they'll connect you to someone closer to you, so they can help you out more, right? Because they're not leaving you hanging. They're here to help, okay? They have a ton of videos everywhere as well, and they really do help. All right, moving on. I'm still trying to get through all this stuff. This is what I meant by all the tidbits I was going to be adding in here. So people typically make an average of $600 per sale. And that's an average. People make plenty more. Some people may make a little bit less, but that's an average you can kind of like have in your brain, because that's kind of how it usually goes for the most part. But yeah, some people can make as high as like, I don't know, $2,500. Some people might have 2 policies in one sitting, whatever. So this money is calculated like this. Basically, the insurance, let's say the insurance policy is $65 a month. Okay, that's $780 a year based off my calculations. I hope I did that right earlier. I don't know, I did it kind of fast. Let's say your commission is 90%. Your total commission is going to be $702. Now, the way the FFL does, and I think most IMOs do it, is they'll pay you 75% of that up front, and then the rest of the 25% is split between month 10, 11, and 12. So let's say you sign someone up in June. You'll get your 75% in the beginning, and then the 25% is going to be split between April, May, June of the following year. Does that make sense? Okay. So it just depends on when you sign that person up and all that. So you also can get commission on renewals. Okay. This IMO is great for many reasons. Watch that explainer video so you can know. So yeah, anyway, with this IMO, you also get paid 25 to 48 hours after the first premium is paid. The premium is that monthly payment that the person has to pay. Those are called premiums. So when they pay that first premium, you get your commission or whatever. So which is great. So you can make that money fairly quickly. Okay. With this industry, buying leads is a thing that is pretty much a necessity if you want a solid business. Leads can range anywhere between $7 to $60 depending on what type of leads they are, whether they're direct mail, whether they're Facebook leads, whether they're, I don't know, there's all kinds of different leads. Please watch an explainer video. It gives you almost everything you need to know to decide if life insurance is an industry you might want to look further into. And also they help you with different scripts that you can get really good at reading and saying, to where you can get through these conversations with people a lot easier, set appointments a lot easier and whatnot. And also, just to add more to that, you can do this fully at home. You could do telesales. So if you want to look more into telesales, because it doesn't seem like people in FFL typically do a lot of telesales. If you want to learn how to be better at doing it over the phone, purely over the phone, because California does not allow you to do it. Actually, you could do it, over the phone. I don't know where I was going with that. I was thinking of something else, but you could do it over the phone. And there's companies that let you, or insurance companies that let you do over the phone, like voice ones where you can basically, that's your contract, is that person saying that, okay, I'm signing up. It's a whole thing. Just look into it. I don't want to go into too many tangents about that. It's pretty straightforward once you kind of look into it, and you'll get what I mean once you look into it. There's a company that has that was weird. Okay, anyway, I don't know what that meant. But there's a company, I think it was, my phone was trying to tell me something. So there's a company that has high intense leads and that have a 50% guaranteed closing rate. What that means is that if you don't have a closing rate of 50%, they'll give you more leads. Basically, these are high intense leads are great because these are people that are, these are double verified. They have multiple people say, are you this person? Is this your information? Is this your phone number? Is this where you live? Do you have a bank? Your bank information ready to go. Because then once you get to that person, you can just talk to them on the phone and close that deal. So that's why I was ready to go into life insurance once I found that. But I ended up changing course, and I can tell you guys later why. But anyway, I'll tell you guys once I get to the other business idea of what made me change course, okay? So the guy that has a high intense lead, I have the link for that guy, so go ahead and check him out as well. And you can text message him. He has his phone number there. I've texted him before. He responds pretty fast. So yeah, you can ask him questions and stuff. Okay, you guys. So far this video is only 11 minutes long. That's pretty good. That means I'm spending roughly 5 minutes for each section, so that's great. So the next business is staffing and recruitment agency. Okay, so this business is probably the easiest one to start, depending on who you follow. I'm going to go into that later and tell you guys why. Okay, so what makes it easy right off the bat is the fact that you don't have to have a license or anything to start it, okay? And you can start with just a website and just a professional email. That's pretty much all you need, and maybe like a LinkedIn account and typical, little stuff like that, okay? So basically what you do is you'll contact businesses that are currently hiring. So like say you go on Indeed or you go on Craigslist, and you find these companies that have current, listings or whatever, and they're looking for people, whatever the job is, it doesn't really matter, okay? And then you would contact these businesses. You wouldn't contact them through those posts, but what you would do is what people typically tell you to do is you would go through LinkedIn, and you're going to find who those people are. And they're clean, honey. You would find who those people, who the higher up person is, like a CEO or something. I don't want to tell you exactly who because I can't remember who. But you would go to a certain ranking, and you would message that person and say, I'm a staff. You'll find their email, which is easy to do. There's ways to do this. And you would let them know, hey, I'm a staffing agency. And, this is my percentage, and I can help you, find people for this, any positions that you have. There's scripts for this already done. There's a guy that I gave you guys a link for. Shh, okay, honey, I'm recording a video right now. The guy that I have tagged in that YouTube video for the one that says man that does not. You'll see why I say that. He has scripts and all that stuff, and email scripts and everything that you can get. And all that. Well, I don't know. Okay, my phone keeps giving me this weird alert. I'm not sure why. I hope there's no issues with this video. I hope it comes out fine. Anyway, sorry if I go off. Kylie's being needy right now. But anyway, so all you do is contact them. You let them know, hey, I'm staffing agency, yada, yada, yada. Okay? This is $150 billion industry. Billion with a B, okay? So this is a bigger industry. So don't think this is just some little thing. You're going to make $500 here and there. This is a big industry, okay? You can start today. I might still do this on the side of the other business idea just because I might get paid a little bit faster with the staffing agency. I might be able to run 2 businesses at a time. I don't know. I'll see. I'll just have to see how much work is required for the other job, the other career that I want to do. For sure. But this one is pretty cool because there's a lot you could do with this. So let me just continue to read this, okay? So how payments works is your fee depends on the person's annual salary that you get hired. For example, let's say you hire a law firm administrative assistant. I'm noticing some typos, so I'm just clearing those out. And you hire that administrative assistant, right? And her annual salary is $40,000. Let's say you charge 10% as a beginner, because that's what this guy recommends you do, which is below industry standards, pretty much well below, okay? And then you make $4,000, okay? Many charge upwards of 30%. that's more so closer to the industry standard, or that's a little bit higher than industry standard, because that's what you really want to charge if you specialize in something. Which this lady, who I'm going to tag you in, she says you should specialize. The guy says you should specialize later. I kind of agree with him a little better. I feel like you should cast your net wide, get used to the industry, learn it, and then niche down, because then you'll figure out which niche you want to focus on as well. I don't think it's safe to just pick a niche right off the bat, because you might not like that niche, you know? So I'd say cast your net wide and then go down. Okay, don't be rude. I'm recording. That wasn't cute. And Kylie gets really extra whenever I'm trying to do something. But anyway, yeah. So I lost my train of thought. But basically, cast your net wide and figure things out from there. Okay. So you can make more money residually if you have contract workers. That's a whole nother world. That's typically after you've been doing this for a while and you kind of learn the ropes a little bit better. And you want to hire some people under you. You want to handle payroll and stuff like that. If I did this, I would have all my workers as I think it's 1099. Yeah, 1099 employees. I don't know the logistics of that. I haven't looked into it. But if you go the other route, you're going to have to be the one making sure you take money out for taxes and all that jazz. And you're doing W-2s, okay? So just know that if you're doing contract workers, they're going to be W-2 workers, or you could do 1099. If you do 1099, then it's up to that person to pay their own taxes. I would rather go that route because I would think it's more convenient. One thing with this as well is that the company that you're hiring your contract workers for, they might take a little bit of time to pay you that money. So you're most likely going to have to use a payroll advancement company to help pay you if you need to, and to also pay your workers if you want to be able to pay them weekly or something like that. And let's say the business you work with only pays you monthly for whatever. The reason why you make money with this is because, let's say your contract, I'm going into tangent, I'm sorry, I'm going deeper into the staffing and recruitment section that I wanted to do, but I do want to let you guys know that how you make money, because I didn't add this here for some reason, how you make money with contract workers is, let's say that contract worker would typically make $15 an hour. You would charge the business that's hiring them like $30 an hour, and you would make the surplus of $15. The reason why is because they're paying you to manage that person and manage that person's payroll and all this stuff, because maybe they don't want to do it. Also, they get to do the try before you buy thing if you do contract to hire. So this industry is something I dove deep into all of these. So I know a good amount of information about them to be able to give you guys enough information to make a decision which route you kind of want to go down, just based off of the business structure, okay? So that's how the contract workers kind of go. That's pretty much the gist of that. The lady, she goes into detail about that. She gives you even the real numbers and plays around with her calculator and all that stuff. There's a lot of money that can be made with this, especially if you have contract workers. And even if you just work by yourself and do direct hires, which is what the previous example is, you can make a ton of money. You can do the math yourself. Okay, so yeah, I pretty much went into all of that about having a niche. For example, a niche, you may specialize in placing CNAs, or you may specialize in placing construction workers, or you may even go even deeper and only specialize in specifically law firm administrative assistants, or specifically accountants for law firms or whatever. I don't know. That's just an example. But that's a thing you could do as well. You guys, I'm trying to make this video not be super long. So if it seems like I'm talking fast, I'm sorry. I just want to get this information to you guys. You guys can just read it, but this video does have tangents in it that, I may have forgotten to add. Surplus funds. This is the one that I decided I want to go into. I'm torn. I've already invested in the surplus fund for training for that, so I know I'm going to do it. But I kind of want to do the staffing agency on the side. So I'm going to see. I'll let you, if you guys really want to know, I'll let you know what I decide. But surplus funds is really pretty straightforward. This business, from my understanding, doesn't require licensing. I think you have to sign up for something depending on the state that you're doing it in. It's a simple information you just send to them. I don't think it's anything complicated. It doesn't require any license or anything. This business, you're basically helping people claim the funds that the government is holding on to. There's a lot of money that the government has of unclaimed funds. You guys, I'm talking billions and billions of dollars that people don't even know that they have. So for an example of an unclaimed fund would be, for example, a person loses their home in a foreclosure, obviously devastating, crappy experience, right? However, let's say the bank sells the house. There's excess funds between what's owed to the bank and then what is actually gained in the selling of the house. Okay, that money is owed to the previous property owner, the person who lost their home in foreclosure. Okay, so most people don't even know this. Okay, so most people have unclaimed funds. Some of these funds, people only have a couple years before they can't even claim their funds anymore. So you can imagine the government isn't going around telling everyone, hey, by the way, you got like $50,000 here, or you got $100,000. There's people that have hundreds of thousands of dollars, $200,000 and stuff of unclaimed money. It's insane. Okay, so, and that's just in America, by the way. The billions of unclaimed money, that's in America alone, if I didn't say that earlier. All right, so what you do is you help people get this money, help them claim it, help them with all the paperwork, get a notary to their house to sign all the paperwork, all that jazz, okay? And you would charge a fee. Most people charge a fee anywhere between, I can't talk, oh my God, anywhere between 10% to 30%, okay? Some people charge way more than that. I think that's highway robbery. I would never want to charge any more than 10 to 30. For me, morally, I couldn't. So if someone has, let's say they have $50,000 of unclaimed funds, you would make anywhere between $5,000 to $15,000, depending on what you set your fee as, and there you go. So I'm sending you a link to the guy that I work with, and then another guy who has a training that's a little bit cheaper, but it just depends on who you want to work with. The reason why I'm working with Spencer is because he has a huge network behind him. There's over 1,000 people. There's 2,100, I think, 2,100 people in the group. There is a lawyer that already knows how to work with this type of thing, that knows what she's doing. She's well versed. She's helped in a lot of deals, so you can work directly with her. And there's many trainings. There's 4 trainings a week. There's many trainers that you can set one-on-one calls with. There's all this stuff. You're not left alone. This is why I want to work with Spencer. The other guy, I'm not really sure what his setup is. I don't know if he dives that deep into his training, but I can tell that Spencer puts a lot of emphasis on making sure that he's creating an environment where we can succeed. Okay. All right. So that's that. I hope that you guys got something good out of here. I hope that one of these businesses work for you if you're looking into going to business. I really hope that, you see something here that you like. If not, that's fine. This is someone needed this. You know what I mean? I do everything because if I help at least one person, or at least if I jog the brain of somebody and they start thinking outside the box a little bit, that's good enough for me, given the amount of time I've took typing all this up and also making this video. So I hope someone finds this useful. I'm going to post it as is. I hope there's no typos in the thing, but I just want to go ahead and do that for you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed day, a blessed week, and I hope everybody's good. And if you have any questions at all for any of these business ideas, please ask me. I have dived deep into each and every one of these. I've watched a ton of videos, and I really kind of made a decision like, well, I don't want to really do that, so let me not do this. And then I came across another one. I was like, oh, maybe not that. So you know what I mean? After I've dived deep into them and really kind of figured out the type of life I want for myself. When you're starting a business, try to start a business that can help you have the life that you want. Think about the long term. Okay, don't just think about the short term and making a bunch of money. The money is great and all of these things. They're great. But you got to ask yourself, how much time are you willing to spend on this, or do you even have to spend on this? Okay, because that'll help you decide which business to go into. And also, all that stuff. One thing I do have to add, I almost forgot. For the surplus funds business, getting that money once you send in all the paperwork can take anywhere from 5 weeks to 9 months to get money for that. Okay, so if you're going to start in the surplus business, make sure you have money to pay your bills first and foremost. Okay, secondly, go hard in the first few months and be really consistent, because let's say for some reason every single claim you send in takes a month or 2. By the time you get to that time when that check is rolling in, you're going to have another check, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. So don't let it defer you if you don't get your checks right away, okay? Keep doing the work, because let's say you just got to rough it, in that time frame until your checks start rolling, and that means they're going to all roll in. That's why you want to go hard and go ham your first month or two, and get those claims sent in, okay? And there's a step-by-step process for all of these things, and I can get you guys connected to people to do all this stuff. And a lot of people that I tagged you in, they all have trainings, and they all will work with you directly. So just let me know if you have any questions, and I'll give you guys my opinion on anything if you want it. And yeah, I hope this helps someone. Okay, I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Such a cheese ball, God.